Welcome, everybody. I'm Joe at the Game House. Today we'll be doing a Las Vegas Raiders 2025 NFL mock draft. The Raiders are up in our 2025 NFL mock draft series. We'll be doing mock drafts for every single NFL team before the 2025 NFL draft, probably going through twice and doing it 2 mock drafts for every team. We'll be using the NFL Mock Draft Database Simulator for this one, like how it meshes the big boards from across the internet together to make their own big board, and we will also be rejecting all trades to keep it as realistic as possible. The Raiders, pick number 6, Pete Carroll, the new head coach, kind of older in age, but still has a lot of energy. They have a lot of possible picks here, but if Travis Hunter falls to them, that's going to be the pick. I hate how he keeps on falling in these mock drafts, but if they don't take him, they could take someone like Will Johnson. They are looking for a quarterback or maybe a wide receiver in this draft, so Ted McMillan is on the board. But I don't know if the first 2 quarterbacks go off the board, if they're going to get one at pick 6. Maybe they're going to have to address that in free agency or do something else to get their quarterback because it just doesn't feel like the value's there at 6 for any of those other players. All right, with the second pick at pick number 37. Again, could go Jalen Milroe. I'm not sure he's worth pick 37. I'm not sure that he's going to fit the system that Pete Carroll wants to run. He wants us to take an edge rusher to go across from Max Crosby. We're going to do it with Shamar Stewart out of Texas A&M. We'll take another edge rusher. That's pretty good value there, a guy who I think has been rising up draft boards even now as we speak, so really can help make that pass rush really dynamic for Pete Carroll. Next one up, we will take Jackson Dart, the quarterback out of Ole Miss here. A developmental type quarterback. I have a second round grade on him personally. I think they can work with him a little bit. We've seen Pete Carroll have success taking quarterbacks in the middle rounds of the draft. He took Russell Wilson in the 3rd round, so be interesting to see if he could maybe do the same thing here. This pick number 73, it could go running back. They aren't very strong in that area. Could go safety with Xavier Watts there. Could go interior defensive line. But I think I'm going to go Travion Henderson, the running back out of Ohio State. Really fast and explosive, but he's also a willing blocker, which is really encouraging too. I think he could be a dynamic player for this Raiders offense, really open things up for whoever the quarterback is, whether that's Jackson Dart, who we picked in this mock, or whether it's someone else they sign in free agency. We'll also try to get some wide receiver help here too. It's something they need. Tez Johnson is a little bit smaller of a player, but he is a guy that I think we can go after. Torrey Horton's a more bigger outside receiver, but I think we're going to go Tez Johnson. I think his speed can be really dynamic and really help open up that offense for whoever the quarterback is, whoever they end up getting to run that offense. So have pick 107 done. We're going to pick 144 next. Just try to get, at this point, guys who maybe develop into something later on in their careers, possibly maybe not guys you're trying to get to start right away. We'll go Charles Grant, the interior offensive lineman from William & Mary. I believe he actually plays tackle, and that's just a projection on what he could play in the NFL. So a guy who has dominated competition at his level, but has to stack up and see how they'll stack up against NFL players. Might take some time, and that's why he could be developmental. The next pick we have is pick number 182. I think Joshua Farmer will be the pick here. Florida State disappointed as a team, but he had some bright flashes. Help that interior defensive line. Definitely need at least some bodies there to help the future of the team and the rotation of the defensive line. And we'll wait for pick number 214 to come through here too. At this point, looking for special teams guys, maybe guys who can develop too, but mostly special teams guys who can really make an impact there. Let's do Jacob Parrish out of Kansas State. Get one of the corners there, as there's still some other corners there. But and then we'll kind of try to find maybe a guy who can play special teams for us. Again, you're not picks 218. If the guys can make the roster, cool. But if they can't, that's okay too. Let's go Connor Colby. He's more of an interior lineman out of Iowa. Had some hype a couple years ago in the pre-draft process. Never kind of lived up to that hype. But if Grant is a tackle, then Colby can be a rotational interior lineman who ends up playing down the stretch. Or playing later in his career, I should say. Let's go Shiloh Sanders with the last pick. The Raiders may want Shador, but they might end up with Shiloh. Shiloh is a guy who I think could be good on special teams. As a safety, he's going to need a lot of developmental work, and I think he could be a solid contributor on a team if he buys into that special teams role. So let's go through the mock draft for the Raiders. We started off with Travis Hunter at 6. Do I think he makes it to 6? No, but if he's there, you take him. Guy who I think they probably play mostly on defense in this situation. I think Pete Carroll will love his defensive abilities, but also you could put him on offense as well for a little bit. Shamar Stewart, the edge rusher out of Texas A&M, guys been rising up draft boards, can really provide a value across from Max Crosby. Jackson Dart, the quarterback out of Ole Miss. Maybe he's a developmental starter, but maybe Pete Carroll will pull the trigger and start him just like he did Russell Wilson as a rookie. 73, we have Travion Henderson, the running back out of Ohio State. Now, he's an explosive runner, but also likes to block. I think they'll love that tenacity that he brings to Raider football. Wide receiver Tez Johnson out of Oregon, smaller but does have a lot of speed, can play in that slot to give another weapon for the offense. Charles Grant out of William & Mary, a tackle but might move into guard at the NFL level. Joshua Farmer, the defensive lineman out of Florida State. Jacob Harris, the corner out of Kansas State. Connor Colby, the interior offensive lineman out of Iowa. And then Shiloh Sanders, the safety out of Colorado. Let me know what you think of this mock draft down in the comments below. We'll be doing more mock drafts for every NFL team before the 2025 NFL draft, so make sure to stay tuned for that. For now, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time.